Welcome to Quanchua's Kitchen. Today I'm sharing with you my recipe for Fante Fante, and I'm using tilapia. I normally use red snapper, but I ran out, so this is what I'm using today. So I have 2 large tilapia cut into 3 pieces each, about 10 medium-sized tomatoes, 1 large red onion, some garlic. I also have here some peppers. These are very hot, so I think 2 is more than enough since my kids will be eating some too. I have here my maggi shrimp tablet, some paposhito. If we feel like it's not hot enough for us, we could always mash up some in here so the kids don't suffer. I have some salt to taste, some ginger. This is powdered ginger. I normally use fresh, but since I ran out, I thought I would use this, but it's better for you to use fresh ginger if you have that at home. You only need about the thumb size of the fresh ginger, but for today we'll use the powdered. And some palm oil, not too much. This is about a half cup or a third cup of palm oil. That's about all you need. So let's get started. First off, we cut up our tomatoes. Add in the peppers, garlic. Cut up your onions. I save a piece, like a quarter of the onion, that I'll put it in with the paposhito when everything is almost cooked. Just for some crunch, some color. A little bit of water just to help with the blending. I normally like to put some tomatoes on the bottom of the pan before I put the fish. That way it doesn't stick. So then I put in my fish. And I pour in the rest of the tomato and pepper mixture. Add in my shrimp tablet. Just drop it in. About a teaspoon of salt, or to your taste. I don't like that much salt, so I think that is just enough. And a teaspoon ground ginger. If I had used the fresh ginger, I would have added it to the pepper, tomatoes, garlic, onions to blend. But like I told you before, I don't have any. But one thing you should know when you're making Fante Fante is you don't want to stir, because then the fish will break apart or fall apart. So basically you just shake the pan to incorporate the ingredients. Cover and let it simmer. So we'll be having banku with this, and that's what I'm preparing. I'm not doing a recipe for the banku today, but just wanted you to know what we'll be having it with. It's gonna be good, trust me. So it's boiling, as you can see from all this vapor coming up, and it's time to open it. So you will cover it, let it simmer. So I'm going to turn down the heat. It's going to cook on low from now. You don't stir it, you just keep on shaking it. You don't want the fish to fall apart. I'm just going to let it simmer maybe for another like 20 minutes until most of the liquid, dries up or cooks up, whatever you want to say. And then we'll add our peppers, onions, and palm oil, and we'll be good to go. I think it's simmered down enough for me to add my onions and paposhito. And still no stirring. Just twirl it around. So we want that fish to stay whole the whole time it cooks. You just don't want it watery. It's not soup. It's Fante Fante, is some kind of stew. So you want the liquids to dry up as much as possible before we serve it. Fante Fante is finally getting there. It's really simmered down. It's not so runny anymore. And I think it's a good time to put in our palm oil and let it go for a little bit more, and we'll be done. I'm going to add this palm oil. I know some of you will be questioning why I didn't season it first, or if I can't retrieve you say anchimu man fajene and now money be anchimansa. We am crying. This is oil that I derived from making palm nut soup. So it is well seasoned already. It is tasty on its own. If I was just going to make some abom, I would just melted it and pour it on my abom. I wouldn't need to do anything. No onion seasoning. You don't need it. So, but if you are using regular palm oil that you got from the market, then I suggest you season it a little bit before you put it in. But in Kwango or Zomi, you really don't need to do that. And it's not too much, it's just a little bit to make it look delicious, inviting, and that's about it. Not really to make it oily or anything. Of course, some more twirling, shaking, twirling, whatever you may call it. Because the spoon is not your friend, the ladle is not your friend when you make Fante Fante. No need to stir. You don't want to break up your fish. Then it's going to be good. Simple, fast, quick, delicious. You can't go wrong with this. You really can't. So I hope you're gonna try it. And if you've been wondering, Fante Fante is the same as Ntitii. Growing up, I knew this as Ntitii until, somewhere, maybe in the university or somewhere along the line, I got to know it's called Fante Fante, and it's more known to be called Fante Fante, so I call it Fante Fante now. But if you were wondering, this is the same as Ntitii. Fante Fante ban. because we didn't mess with it. No stirring. The fish is whole. It didn't fall apart. And that's what you want to achieve. I know some of us, we can be very impatient. We want to mess with things, but if you don't, this is going to be your result. Perfect. Just beautiful. See? Didn't fall apart one bit. The fish is whole. No bones swimming around. Oh, yempe nkro aduane bia ese ye di agro no, ye me di agro wa ha. So there you go. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's eat.